In a struggling neighborhood on the edge of Houston, Texas, summer arrived not with celebrations, but with a cruel reminder of how little the city cared for its most vulnerable. For weeks, residents of Pinewood Gardens had lived with flickering lights and dry taps. As temperatures soared past 100 degrees, families lined up at fire hydrants, waiting for water trucks that came too late and left too soon. Maria Lopez, a single mother of 3, did everything she could to keep her children safe. She filled pots and buckets with what little water she could collect, rationing it for cooking, drinking, and the rare bath. Nights were the hardest. Without electricity, the heat was suffocating, and sleep came in short, restless bursts. The city council blamed the outages on infrastructure issues and told residents to be patient. But patience ran thin as each day passed. Kids missed online classes, food spoiled in powerless refrigerators, and elders sat fanning themselves by open windows, praying for rain or a miracle. The community came together in small ways. Neighbors pooled resources, cooked meals on charcoal grills, and checked on the sick and elderly. But frustration grew with every broken promise from officials and every ignored call to the power company's hotline. Jerome Washington, the neighborhood barber, became an unofficial leader, organizing supply drives and late-night meetings. "We can't wait for someone to save us," he told the crowd gathered in the darkened church basement. "We got to be loud. We got to be seen." One evening, a group of local teens posted a video online. They showed the empty water pipes, the blacked-out streetlights, and the handwritten signs, "We need help. We deserve dignity." The video quickly gained traction, spreading across social media. Maria watched the video with her kids, hoping it would finally reach someone who could make a difference. Little did she know that someone was scrolling through his phone on the other side of the country. In Los Angeles, Snoop Dogg was winding down after a recording session when he saw the viral video. The images struck a chord, children sweating. In the dark, families desperate for relief, leaders ignored by those in power. Snoop shook his head in disbelief, anger simmering beneath his calm exterior. He shared the video with his millions of followers, writing, "This ain't right. Our people deserve better. Who's responsible for this?" The post exploded, drawing attention from media outlets, activists, and politicians alike. Snoop knew this was about more than publicity. It was about justice. He picked up the phone and started calling friends, journalists, lawyers, organizers. "We gotta help, for real," he told them. "Let's go to Houston." Within days, Snoop announced he would visit Pinewood Gardens himself. His message was clear. You don't turn your back on family. And we all family. Maria and her neighbors could hardly believe it. The news spread like wildfire. For the first time in weeks, hope flickered in the darkness. A hope that maybe, just maybe, someone was finally coming to listen. The day Snoop Dogg arrived, Pinewood Gardens felt electric with anticipation. Cars lined the block, news crews set up cameras, and neighbors gathered in the shade, fanning themselves with homemade signs. Maria dressed her children in their cleanest clothes, their faces lit with excitement and disbelief. Snoop stepped out of his SUV, wearing his signature blue tracksuit and a look of determination. He shook hands, hugged elders, and listened to everyone he met. "This is bigger than music," he told the crowd. "It's about respect, dignity, and basic human rights." He toured the neighborhood, visiting homes by flashlight, talking with families about their struggles. At every stop, people shared stories of missed work, illness, and constant fear. Snoop's presence wasn't just a symbol, it was a spark that reignited their fight for justice. At the local church, Snoop held a town hall meeting. Residents packed the pews, some standing in the aisles, all eager to be heard. Maria spoke first. "Our kids are suffering. Our elders are suffering. We've called everyone, but no one listens until now." Her voice trembled, but she stood tall. Snoop listened carefully, nodding as each speaker poured out their frustration. He promised action, not just words. "We gonna make some noise," he vowed. "The whole world's watching now." He streamed the meeting live on social media, tagging city officials and utility companies. His feed exploded with support. Celebrities, activists, and ordinary people demanded answers. The hashtag #JusticeForPinewood trended within hours. Journalists pressed the mayor's office for a response. Under pressure, city officials visited Pinewood Gardens the next day, making vague promises about repairs and upgrades. Snoop refused to let them off easy. "When?" he demanded. "How long these people gotta wait?" He called on his network to bring immediate relief. Water trucks rolled in, donated by local businesses and Snoop's own foundation. Solar-powered charging stations appeared, giving residents a lifeline for phones and medical equipment. The national spotlight brought new volunteers and resources. Non-profits delivered groceries, fans, and hygiene kits. Still, Snoop reminded everyone, "This is just a patch. We want real change, not charity." Late at night, Snoop sat on Maria's porch, talking with her and her children by lantern light. He heard their fears, their dreams, and their exhaustion. He promised to keep fighting, no matter how long it took. For the first time in months, Pinewood Gardens felt united and seen. Snoop's words echoed long after he left. "Your voice matters, and I ain't going nowhere until you get what you deserve." With national attention focused on Pinewood Gardens, the pressure mounted. City council meetings grew tense, packed with reporters and angry residents holding up photos of their powerless homes. Snoop used his platform to share updates, call out officials, and demand transparency. He brought in lawyers who uncovered evidence of years of neglected maintenance and broken promises. Old emails revealed that complaints from Pinewood Gardens were routinely ignored. Funds meant for infrastructure repairs had mysteriously vanished. Snoop organized a coalition of activists, legal experts, and neighborhood leaders. Together they staged peaceful protests outside City Hall and utility company headquarters. Snoop marched at the front, chanting with residents, holding Maria's youngest daughter on his shoulders. Local officials scrambled to respond. The mayor called a press conference, promising emergency repairs and independent investigations. But Snoop pushed for more. "We want accountability, not just apologies," he said. The story made national news, sparking debates about environmental racism and systemic neglect in underserved communities. Other neighborhoods across the country reached out, sharing similar stories of being left in the dark, literally and figuratively. Pinewood Gardens became a symbol of resistance. Murals went up across the city, showing Snoop surrounded by community. Members' fists raised, sunlight breaking through clouds. Repairs began at last. Crews replaced transformers, fixed pipes, and installed new streetlights. Snoop checked in daily, walking the block with Maria and Jerome, making sure promises were kept. Despite progress, Snoop reminded everyone, "This ain't over till every home got light, every tap got water, and every voice gets heard." He pushed for policy changes, greater oversight, community representation, and regular audits of public utilities. Maria, once quiet and reserved, became a powerful advocate. She spoke at rallies and on news shows, urging other mothers to speak up. Her children, once frightened by the dark, began to dream bigger dreams. Snoop launched the Lights On, Rights On initiative, funding solar panels and backup batteries for the most vulnerable families. He worked with local colleges to provide internships and job training for neighborhood youth. Through it all, the bond between Snoop and Pinewood Gardens deepened. He was no longer just a celebrity visitor. He was a friend, an ally, and part of the fight. And for the first time in a long time, hope glowed as bright as the new streetlights shining over Pinewood Gardens. By the time fall arrived, Pinewood Gardens was transformed. Power and water flowed steadily for the first time in years. Children played late into the evening under new lights, and Maria's family enjoyed hot meals without fear of spoilage or scarcity. The city honored Snoop and the community leaders at a public ceremony. "This was never about fame," Snoop said, standing beside Maria and Jerome. "It was about justice, about every family's right to dignity and safety." He delivered a powerful speech that was shared around the world. "If one neighborhood can be left in the dark, then so can any of us. We gotta stand together, fight together, and never stop shining our light on the truth." The Pinewood Gardens story inspired similar movements nationwide. Communities demanded infrastructure repairs, transparency, and respect. Politicians passed new laws to ensure no neighborhood would be neglected again. Maria continued her activism, organizing block parties, food drives, and voter registration events. She encouraged neighbors to stay involved, to never let their voices fade. The children of Pinewood Gardens flourished, schools improved, parks were rebuilt, and hope became contagious. Snoop stayed connected, visiting often, mentoring young leaders, and reminding everyone that real change takes time. But it always starts with speaking up. Media outlets followed up, highlighting the ripple effect of one community's fight. Murals of Snoop in Pinewood Gardens became landmarks, reminders of what's possible when people refuse to be invisible. Jerome opened a new barbershop and community center, offering free haircuts and after-school programs. The once neglected block buzzed with energy, pride, and unity. Snoop's initiative spread to other cities, building a legacy of justice, compassion, and empowerment. He used his platform not just for music, but to amplify the struggles and dreams of everyday people. Pinewood Gardens was no longer defined by darkness. It became a beacon, a testament to the power of unity, courage, and the belief that every family deserves light, water, and respect. As Maria tucked her children in one evening, she looked out at the glowing streetlights and whispered, "Thank you." She knew now that even the quietest voices could spark a revolution, and that true justice is something worth fighting for every single day.